Here's what every Tottenham fan has been desperately waiting to hear, and it couldn't come at a more perfect moment. Spurs receive game-changing injury update just before crucial West Ham showdown. When international breaks roll around, most football supporters hold their breath, praying their star players return home without picking up knocks or exhausting themselves in meaningless friendlies. But here's where it gets interesting. Sometimes these breaks can actually work in your favour. And that's exactly what's happening at Tottenham right now. Exceptional developments have emerged for Spurs management ahead of their highly anticipated Premier League encounter against West Ham United this weekend. The club has received not one, but two significant boosts that could dramatically shift the dynamics of their upcoming London derby. Romero's unexpected early return creates golden opportunity. Cristian Romero has delivered what might be the most welcome surprise of the international window by making an unexpectedly early return from South American duty. This development has handed the club captain invaluable extra preparation time that could prove decisive in the weekend's clash. Initially, Romero was anticipated to be among multiple players making the exhausting late journey back from South America, potentially arriving with minimal recovery time before the West Ham fixture. However, football's unpredictable nature worked beautifully in Tottenham's favour. A yellow card received during Argentina's World Cup qualifying victory over Venezuela resulted in an automatic suspension for their subsequent match against Ecuador. While disciplinary suspensions typically frustrate players and fans alike, this particular booking has transformed into an unexpected blessing. Instead of enduring another grueling match followed by extensive travel, Romero found himself free to return to North London over the weekend, well ahead of schedule. Monday's training footage released by the club confirmed what supporters had hoped to see. Their defensive stalwart back on the training ground, fully engaged with his teammates. This means Romero will enjoy a complete week of preparation alongside his squad before the crucial derby. A luxury that seemed impossible just days earlier. Dragusin's comeback story takes major step forward. But here's the part most people might have missed. There's another recovery story unfolding that could be equally significant for Tottenham's long-term prospects. Additional positive news emerged as Radu Dragusin made his return to first-team training sessions, marking a major milestone in what has been a challenging rehabilitation journey. The 23-year-old defender has been absent from competitive action since February, battling back from a serious ACL injury that typically sidelines players for extensive periods. ACL injuries represent one of football's most feared setbacks, often requiring not just physical recovery, but significant mental strength to return to peak performance levels. For young players like Dragusin, these injuries can feel particularly devastating as they interrupt crucial developmental phases of their careers. Thomas Frank provided a thoughtfully cautious perspective before the international break, explaining the complexities involved in such recoveries. Of course it is an ACL. I'm always a little bit more, not worried, but just aware that it takes time. When you've been out of football for 9 months, you know you need to get in. It's not enough to have a 6-week pre-season. You need to take a little bit more time, but it's positive and some surprise and come back quicker, of course. This measured approach highlights the delicate balance between optimism and realism that characterizes modern injury management. Rushing players back too quickly can result in setbacks that prove more costly than patience. Psychological impact could prove game-changing. While Dragusin remains excluded from the Champions League squad for the group stage phase, his presence during training sessions provides an unmistakable psychological lift for the entire squad. Squad depth and competition for places often drive improved performances across the team, and having additional quality options available can only strengthen the group's mentality. The timing of both these developments creates a perfect storm of positivity around the club. Romero's early return ensures their defensive leader enters the West Ham clash in optimal condition, while Dragusin's progress offers hope for increased squad depth in the coming weeks. For management, these dual boosts arrive at precisely the right moment, as they seek to maintain their impressive early season momentum and strengthen their position near the Premier League summit. The psychological advantage of having key players available and fit cannot be understated in high-pressure derby situations. And this is where things get controversial. Are international breaks actually becoming a blessing in disguise for Premier League clubs? While traditionalists argue that international football remains sacred, many club supporters increasingly view these interruptions as unwanted risks to their players' fitness and form. What do you think? Should clubs celebrate when their star players miss international matches due to suspensions? Or does this attitude represent a concerning shift away from national team pride? Are we witnessing the slow erosion of international football's prestige? Or is this simply smart squad management in an increasingly demanding football calendar? Share your thoughts. This debate touches the very heart of modern football's priorities.